Hi everyone! So final video review for this week is for my paperback read, which was Racing Hearts by Dena Blake. For any of you that didn't see the introduction video, here's just a quick look at what the paperback looks like, and you can still catch that introduction video on my YouTube channel or on my blog, that is still there. And this will be the video review. So if you want to check out my Goodreads review, I did just post that the other day. If you're on YouTube, there is a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there's a link within the post. And so on to the video review for Racing Hearts by Dena Blake. So this book was such a thrill, like seriously. It's about Samantha. She's been through some pretty traumatic events at the NASCAR track, and this hotshot new driver Drew turns up, working her way into the team, and very slowly, to the best of her abilities, into Samantha's heart. And Samantha is kind of left really conflicted. So her life is anything but simple, and Drew just adds to all that complication at the moment, especially when accidents are continuing to happen, and she doesn't really know why. So Drew is taken, she's sort of taken in by Samantha from the very first time that they meet, and she really hopes Samantha is not involved in the accidents, even if she is Drew's #1 suspect for them, because of her ability to have access to the cars. So it's really going to complicate Drew's investigation if her heart is involved and it turns out to be Samantha. So she's really hoping it isn't going to be. But I absolutely adored this story so much. It was different because when it said Racing Hearts on the cover, I thought it was all going to be about like 2 race car drivers or something, and I didn't expect the level that came with this story. There was such an underlying plot going on, and it was so good. It was so clever, and it added an air of mystery and thrill, and just made the book something so much more. So for me, it just had everything going for it. It had a heated, tense connection between amazing, strong main characters, sizzling chemistry, fast sport, and then that thrilling story with a touch of mystery as well. I mean, what more could you want? It was really brilliant. But there really was so much to love about it, and I did love it very, very much. The whole story surprised me. Like I say, I was expecting these 2 race car drivers, and I wasn't expecting the mystery, and I wasn't expecting it to quite go the way it was. And there were other points in this that I just wasn't expecting at all, and I must sort of say that Dena explored them really well. She handled them really sensitively, and she gave an honest and detailed but dramatic and important story as well. So I really wasn't expecting the complexity of the intertwined plot. It really had me trying to guess if Sam was really the suspect Drew was looking for, and there was just so much packed in to keep you guessing as well. Like you literally were like, she could be, and it was really intense trying to figure out if she was going to be the suspect or not. It was really intense. But Sam and Drew, I mean, talk about chemistry. They had it in buckets. They had this heated relationship. It was tense, it was strained, and yet it was completely perfect all at the same time. And Sam really deserved the love that Drew was going, you know, the way Drew was going to love her, because she had this really toxic relationship with another NASCAR driver. When I say toxic, I mean pretty toxic. And I must admit, Dena really surprised me with that, and I really hated the character, but I understood why she did it, and hats off, it was a really good portrayal. It was really good, and Drew and Sam, they were just brilliant. They really liked to test one another, and you as a reader, because you really wanted to bang their heads together sometimes, and it was really frustrating, but in like the best way, because it sort of made it slow burn. But it wasn't slow burn how we would normally determine slow burn, but it was slow in terms of Sam coming to her senses. And, you know, especially where Sam was concerned, I mean, she was so frustrating. Like I say, Brad, just don't even get me started. The guy's a total douche, like, seriously. And Dena painted him perfectly that way, and she did a really good job of it. And it was really believable. But it really made the story, and it was needed. And the fact that Sam was such a strong character, but she was vulnerable like this too, was amazing. And even Drew had those moments where her own vulnerabilities got to her. And I love these strong characters, these ones with insecurity and vulnerabilities that are below the surface, and they only come out in certain situations and in certain moments. And I love that. And Dena's done it really, really well in here. But I absolutely loved it. I cannot recommend it enough. And it was an excellent read. It just confirms that I love Dena's ability to write amazing romances. They are always brilliant, but they always have that little bit of edge that just makes them different, and I love that. I really, really love that. I'm a big fan of Dena's, and I've only read a few of her books, and there's so many out there to read, and I can't wait to read more because they are just amazing. Hopefully Sam and Drew will be back in future, but if they do come back in future, I really hope it's a lot happier than this one. But it was a happy story, don't get me wrong. It was happy, but with loads of mystery and thrill. So I absolutely loved it. I hope you will too. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Racing Hearts by Dena Blake, which I hope you will. If you've read Racing Hearts by Dena Blake, I would love to hear your thoughts, especially on a certain character who really wound me up. I would love to hear what you thought of the book. So please comment below, please get involved, talk about it. If you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to be read list, or you're planning to read it, or you're now really intrigued and interested in reading it, again, comment below, because it's always great to hear what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I hope you love it. Bye!